A few of you might be wondering why I'm wearing the exact same shirt I wore yesterday. Well, I'll clarify that. This is not the same shirt. I bought two of the same shirt because I'm loyal to the brand. I like the brand. I like the color scheme. I'm loyal to the cryptocurrency market. And ladies and gentlemen, I am loyal to my community, which is why I'm back here with another cryptocurrency video at around 2 a.m. Australian time. Let's get into it. What are we discussing today? We're discussing what will be happening next for Bitcoin in terms of where the next targets are. Here's a big piece of news for you. We have reached a very important level for Bitcoin. I know it feels like people say that every single day, every single week. It's kind of true. People do say it very often, including myself, and that's because Bitcoin's doing a lot recently. I mean, for the last 2 months straight, we have been moving up and through very critical levels time and time again. So it sounds like I've been saying it a lot, but it's kind of true. We are at a critical level once more. It is 79,000, which is, as you guys would know, if you watch people like Crypto Crew University and many other YouTubers who discuss it, is basically a very important level from a trend perspective with something called the 5.3 theory. We'll discuss that more in a moment. We'll also discuss the 84K target, which is based on this channel formation, which we broke to the upside. And we'll also discuss that channel formation breakout is finally fully confirmed with 69K seeing a weekly candle close cleared. Okay, it will be in 9 hours at least, unless we drop, unless we drop 10,000 USD in 9 hours. That's what's going to happen. And lastly, we'll dive into the altcoin market and Ethereum, which is doing absolutely phenomenally right now. Guys, before we get into it, leave a comment. I appreciate it. Anything, an emoji, 3 words, a thank you, a question, whatever you have, chuck it down there below. It helps out the algorithm a lot. Takes 15 seconds of your time. I appreciate that a lot. Let's get into the content. Without further ado, actually lied. We're getting into the advertisements first. It's going to take 20 seconds here. Bitfinex and Blowfin are the 2 exchanges I advertise on this YouTube channel. 15% trading fee discount is available on Bitfinex. If you sign up with my referral link, you will get that 15% trading fee discount. These are both global non-KYC exchanges. They have both never been hacked before, and they are both exchanges you are going to be using during this bull market. You're going to want to be using during this bull market, especially Bitfinex. I use that one personally. The links are down below. Check them out. Right, now we can finally get into it. Bitcoin surging. We know it. Everyone knows it by now. It's broken above its channel formation, and it's finally done that in a confirmed manner. We know that 69,000 is the 2021 all-time high. We know that 69,000 is a critical weekly chart level. It acted as the exact weekly chart resistance back here in March on the very candle that led to our all-time high at the time. It acted as an exact weekly candle resistance back here just a couple of weeks ago on 2 consecutive weekly candles, and now we have finally breached it to the upside with a weekly candle closing at 8 hours. We have completely broken that channel, which means a target from the channel becomes active. How do we get a target from that channel? Because Bitcoin now is in price discovery, okay? And a lot of people don't know where Bitcoin's going next because of the fact that we don't really have any historical price action up here. It's not like we can go back on the chart and see, oh yeah, there was a resistance test over here in 2022 and we can identify that as a critical level and know that there's going to be a resistance zone. We don't know where it is because we've never been this high before. So we're kind of in an open area. We're in no man's land a little bit at the moment. But we can do a few things to find levels even though they aren't historically backed. So we can do things like identify this channel formation, which is now broken, identify the measured move from that channel formation. So take the first retest of the top of the channel to the first retest of the bottom of the channel in length, okay? And go ahead and apply that to the breakout point. And what we see is that takes Bitcoin to around 84,000, meaning 84,000 is a critical resistance zone. And when we reach that level, we should expect that to be a critical resistance zone. Now, that doesn't mean we don't break that level. Obviously, guys, I'm a believer in the 4-year cycle theory. I believe the trend is your friend until it ends. And so I believe this bull market will continue into next year, just as per regular cycle. Until that's proven otherwise, I see no reason to not believe that. I think this is the start of a bull market. I think we're only really starting the parabolic phase now. I think that altcoin season, by the way, is beginning now. We'll discuss all that in a moment here, but I just want to finish up with Bitcoin first. 84K is a target, okay? So that's something to expect as we approach that price region. But most notably, we are actually at a critical level now, as I mentioned in the introduction, based on the 5.3 theory. Now, what is the 5.3 theory? Well, if I went ahead, and I can do this for you, but it's just going to take a lot of time, I'll just explain to you what it is. If we went ahead and measured Bitcoin from the bear market low, okay, of the first cycle to the top of that cycle, okay, we would get a percentage return of 64,000. If we divide that number by 5.3, let's go ahead and do that quickly. So 64,000 roughly divided by 5.3, the number we get is 12,000, okay? Now what you'll notice is in the next cycle, what was our return from the bear market low to the bull market top? Guess what? It was 12,000, okay? Meaning that there is a trend here and you could extrapolate this cycle to cycle to cycle. Basically, you take the returns from the bear market low to the bull market top of the prior cycle and you divide that number by 5.3 and you will get the return from the bear market low to the bull market top of the cycle you are currently on. Now, if we extrapolate this trend all the way forward, what we see basically is last cycle we had a percentage return of, let's go ahead and say 2,100-ish. So if we go ahead and divide 2,100-ish by 5.3, we get the number 396. Then we can go ahead and say, okay, the bear market low was back here at around 15K. If we go ahead and add 396% to that bear market low, that brings Bitcoin to a target of around, it's actually 79K if we did it correctly, perfectly precisely. And guess what? Where are we right now, guys? We're right here at 79K. We're at the doorstep of 79K. Now, this trend that has been around for the entirety of Bitcoin's price history predicts basically that Bitcoin will top out and enter a bear market at 79K. Right? Which means this level we're at right now is very important because we are at that 79K level. And if that trend is correct, we should roll over here and enter a bear market right now, which is very concerning. Okay, obviously. I don't think this trend will play out. But what I will say is this, and I'll tell you why, first and foremost, right? This trend is just a trend like any other, right? It's a trend that's been valid in the entire price history of Bitcoin. Now, what's important to note is this trend has been valid, as I said, in the entire price history of Bitcoin. Do you know what else has been valid the entire price history of Bitcoin? The 4-year cycle theory, okay? And let me tell you this, the 4-year cycle theory is much, much stronger than the 5.3 trend because, first of all, it has 7 micro trends within it. It's an umbrella trend. Second of all, it's based on dates, not prices, which means it's much less speculative. And third of all, it is supported by things outside of the cryptocurrency market, okay? It's not just a random number. It is supported by the presidential cycle theory and the 18.6-year real estate economic cycle theory, which has been going on since the 1920s, okay? The 4-year cycle is the be-all, end-all of Bitcoin trends, right? The 5.3 theory is very important, but it is nowhere near as strong as the 4-year cycle. And also, another reason why the 5.3 theory is probably going to break this cycle, in my view, is because if we go ahead and extract this trend further from this current cycle, we divide that number, 396, by 5.3, what we see is that Bitcoin will never reach an all-time high again, meaning it is an unsustainable trend. Right? It's an unsustainable trend that has played out within the bounds of the 4-year cycle up until this point in time, in which it cannot continue going on within the 4-year cycle anymore, meaning it's likely to break, right? That's the simple reality. It's likely to break. But I will say this. If you are someone who is very cautious, you are someone who is very conservative in their investing, there's absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with waiting for this 79K region, even 80K, even 81K to break before getting into the market. There is nothing wrong with doing that. If you want to just avoid all this drama, avoid all the controversy, yeah, cool. Just wait for Bitcoin to move a little bit more upwards, actually break it properly, and then you can get into the market. Look, here's my thing, right? If you haven't bought yet, you're still waiting on the sidelines, you're probably a very conservative person, all right? You're probably a very conservative person, financially speaking. Why not just wait a little bit more, right? We're at 79K, you know, that's my view, but that's not me, and that's not a lot of people watching this video, but I thought I'd just put that out there. So now we've identified there are 2 very critical levels that Bitcoin is coming up upon. One of them is right here at 79K. In fact, I've written them down in this chart right here. 5.3 theory resistance to 79K. And one of them is right here at around 84,000. So there's 2 critical levels to look out for. We don't know exactly what the level is. It's not exactly 79,000. It's somewhere there, right? Within a very small margin of error. And look, you know, I'll say this. If Bitcoin gets a daily candle close above 80K, you know, it's pretty much invalidated. But I actually will say this as well. It really would not surprise me if Bitcoin sees a short-term correction here. I know I said that yesterday as well. I can only trust TA. That's all I can do, right? I can only look at the charts. And yesterday, the charts were exceptionally bearish in short-term. We had an ascending channel formation with descending volume and a bearish divergence. I mean, that's the trifecta of bearishness. But apparently the market is just going parabolic. It didn't care. It just broke upwards. That's what happens. You know, TA doesn't work out all the time. But, you know, that's going to have a structure right there. We identified yesterday with an 80% probability of breaking downwards. Sometimes the 20% happens. Sometimes it breaks upwards. That's what happened yesterday. And now we're up here. And, it's the same kind of situation. We're at very strong resistance. We're forming bearish structure right here. We look at the total 3, for example. We see a total 3 at very strong resistance from back here in May and June. We see Ethereum entering very strong resistance on the volume profile. But at the same time, these are all short-term problems. I mean, the long-term charts is looking so good. Bitcoin, as you can see, breaking that channel finally. Excellent break, a powerful breakout, very strong weekly candle. Same thing on Ethereum, breaking very critical resistance right here, breaking a very big gap in the volume profile. Very powerful. We've gone upwards from 2,300 to 3,200 in 5 days with no correction whatsoever. Same thing on the total 3. Finally getting above a critical neckline that held for resistance since June. So these markets, there's no doubt in my mind that these markets are bullish right now. They are macro bullish. They're medium term bullish, right? The only thing right now is, we have seen an extended move. Don't be surprised if we get a pullback. And here's where it gets interesting. It's like, well, if we get a pullback here, we're pulling back from 79K. 79K is the 5.3 theory level. So that pullback in this price region might actually really shock a lot of people because they might get very jittery-ish and think, oh my God, 5.3 is playing out. And they might get the hell out of the market too soon. And then the market might blow up without them. So don't be one of those people. Wait for actual downside confirmation. If 5.3 ends up being correct, wait for breakdowns of things like this, right? Things like this yellow line stepping back from 2018, very strong macro yellow line supported from cycle to cycle. If that breaks, that's at around 56,000 right now. I know it's a long way away. We can look at other things as well. We can look at 69K on a weekly close, for example. That's a critical level we can look at. If those things start breaking, that's when you get genuinely scared. If we're seeing a pullback on Bitcoin goes down 10%, 15%. It's not the end of the world. That's a short-term correction. It happens all the time. You look at the last bull market, it happened every single time. I mean, it happened right here. Had massive bull market run up, okay, broke all-time highs around here, ran upwards a little bit further, and then brutal correction for 2.5 weeks. We went downwards around 31% on Bitcoin. Altcoins got decimated and the market continued upwards again, right? Corrections happen. Don't be scared of them. And just because it might happen here at 79K doesn't necessarily mean 5.3 is correct. 5.3 will only be proven correct if we see an actual macro breakdown, right? Until then, it's just something to watch. The 4-year cycle outweighs it tremendously, and the 4-year cycle is on track at the moment. We're back on track with the 4-year cycle, simple as that. Tomorrow, on the daily candle close, I'll make a video tomorrow within probably 18 hours of now. When we discuss tomorrow's video, I'm going to be very, very interested to see what happens here on the daily chart RSI, okay? Daily chart RSI is a point of which I'm watching very closely like a hawk right now, or should I say like a wolf, okay? If we close within that daily chart RSI channel formation and reject downwards, that will be very clear confirmation to me that Bitcoin is going in for a short-term correction that could last a week or two, okay? That is a structure that's been very influential in the daily chart price action. You look at where I'm circling right now, okay? Recent high marked by this channel, another one right here, and another one right here. Recent low marked by the channel right there as well, okay? Right there as well, right there as well. You can see them. Every single low, every single high in the last 2 months has been marked by this daily chart RSI. If we close within that resistance level on daily chart RSI, that will be clear confirmation to me we're going to be seeing a short-term correction. But right now, macro looks great, medium-term looks great, short-term looking a little bit sketchy again. But it looked sketchy yesterday and we just broke upwards anyway, right? Now, that doesn't mean you stop trusting short-term TA. It just means we're clearly in a phase of just extreme bullishness right now. Guys, leave a comment down below, please. I beg you. Just emoji, thank you, whatever you want. Chuck it down there, it takes 15 seconds. And please, I beg you once more, if you want an exchange, you can get one here. In fact, I shouldn't be begging you. This is your bloody reward. Get a good exchange. Bitfinex exchange. I've used it for over a year. I trade on it literally, not daily, but multiple times a week, okay? 5 times a week. 15% trading fee discount with my referral link down below. Hundreds of trading pairs, never been hacked before. Alternative option is Blowfin if you're interested. These links are down below. You can check them out. It takes 15 seconds to sign up. Literally helps me out a lot, helps you out a lot. Get on there if you're interested. I'll mention as well, guys, the VIP group on Telegram. We trade altcoins 5 times a week, 4 times a week, sometimes 5, with a 78.32% win rate over the course of 2 years of trading results, meaning 4 out of every 5 trades almost reach profits. That's amazing. That's sensational, okay? The group chat's down there, 115 members. Check it out if you're interested. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you tomorrow.